Hi there guys, and welcome to a bit of Bushy Does Bushcraft. Excuse me, I've got some notes written down here because I want this to make a bit of sense, and sometimes I just come on and ramble. But basically, why this set of videos that I'm going to be putting out. Basically, over the last sort of like four and a half years since I came to New Zealand, I've done quite a bit of hunting and fishing and bits of tramping and things like that, but very little of the bushcraft. So whilst I've done quite a bit of camping when I've been out, especially up in the hills and things like that, and I've been out taking Ben for a walk, and I've hammocked out and camped out. That's never really included much in the way of bushcrafting and bushcrafting skills beyond setting up a camp and navigation and things like that. And I'm wanting to get back into it a little bit, and I was thinking for a while, well, how can I do this? I mean, at the end of the day, bushcraft, it's a huge topic. It can cover, you can go as little into it or as far into it as you want. You can go from just a few little skills that will improve your camping to, the full-blown Neolithic reenactment type of thing. And I thought, well, how can I break that down? So what I thought was, well, why not approach it as if I was going to go to a bushcraft school or something like that. However, the problem with a bushcraft school, and from my own experience, I've met plenty of people who have, I've done them all myself, been there, done that, is at the end of the day, at the end of, say, a weekend or even a week, chances are you've learnt an awful lot of topics and had a little bit of practice in them. And so I thought, well, how can I approach this? So what I've decided to do is do 7 days of 6. What that's going to be is each particular topic I pick, I'm going to do for 7 days. I'll record this and film it as it goes along, and you'll see how it works out. And each day I'm going to do 6 of something. Again, you'll see how that sort of like works out. The numbers are arbitrary, really. If you're doing something and you want to do 10 or 12 or 20, that's up to you. This is just, again, there isn't really going to be a great deal that I haven't actually done before on a number of occasions. However, you get rusty, skills deteriorate, you forget things, so also along with the actual practical things I'm going to be doing is a bit of study. So basically, who would this be for? Well, it's for me. And I'm recording what I'm doing to give me a bit of an incentive, and also because I'm enjoying learning how to do some of the videos and things. But other than that, basically anybody. This really is aimed at probably beginner to improver level, to give a bit of practice. The reason for that is, like I say, when I have done courses, and I've known people who've done courses, and I've gone out in the bush with them, or in the UK, in the woods and things like that. And a great little test, if you're out with somebody in the bush, and a great way to find out, what their sort of like levels at, is just say, yeah, this is a piece of wood, make me some feather sticks. The amount of people who've gone on courses and allegedly passed bushcraft courses and things like that, and they can't do something as simple as make a feather stick. They don't have the knife control to do that. Some of them don't have a sharp enough knife, or they don't have an appropriate knife. But that's a different topic, is the appropriateness. Now, where will I be doing this? If you want to join in and follow me on this journey, where will you do this? Well, to be honest, the bulk of the practice I'm going to be doing is going to be at home, right here where I am now. I'll show you around in a second. The reason for that is the skills themselves. If, for argument's sake, you've got a chance to go for a day walk, on that day walk you might actually want to just have a walk, make a brew, chill out, take some photos. Do a skill that you can't actually do and practice anywhere else. It needs to be in situ sort of thing. However, for maybe 30 minutes a day, less in some cases, and a little bit of study, each of the individual skills I'm going to be going at and practicing can be done at home, in your own backyard. All you need is a bit of decking, a small area, a little bit of grass, and that's all you need. So there is no excuse for not getting off your bum and actually improving your skills. So really, that's the time commitment will be that. It would be, watching me drone on and show you my results. And what I'm going to do is each day I'll film what I do, condense that a bit, learning that as well, and put the video out there. And then I will then give you what you will need. Like at the end of this, I'll tell you what you're going to need for the first challenge, if you want, which will start next Monday. It's Monday, Tuesday now, depending on where you are. This will give me, for the next week, I'm going to do this skill for the next week, and then next Sunday I will show the skill. You will see what it is that you need to be doing, and you've got a week to do it. At that time, I will also tell you what you need for the following week. So that gives you a week. If there's odd bits and pieces, and this is not a big money game, it is not a kit going out there, stocking up game, massive amounts of things I'll be doing will be done, you know, probably if you've got any interest whatsoever in the outdoors and bushcraft, you've probably got 99% of what you're going to need. So that should not put anybody off. Like I say, so as far as what kit you need, pretty minimal really, and probably things that you can, you know, hopefully I'll be able to show you how you can make things and stuff like that. So, like I say, what we're going to do is each week you will have 7 days of practicing a particular skill. Some of them will overlap. There'll be some things which naturally fit into themselves. So there's a couple of things that you might be doing in a week, and there'll be specific reasons for that and how I'm going to do them and how I would recommend you do them to learn. You know, taking shortcuts and things like that is not going to help. That's what happens and why things fail at the end of the day. So it's quite important that, you know, go through each week and you stick to the things in that week and you do the things. If you're already, say, at an intermediate level, it might be that, you know, you do a few days or alternate days, and if it is like the first topic for next week is going to be making feather sticks. If you've already done quite a few and you're already quite comfortable with that, fine. The goal for that week will be to improve, but there'll also be a couple of other things going on that week. Well, one of the main things going on that week. The only one to fool at the end of the day is going to be you. There's no pass or fail. There's no course fees. There's nobody to impress. There's just you and your satisfaction of knowing that you've improved at the point of your skill to that you can go out to a bushcraft course, to a moot, just yourself in the woods, and you can do these things. You know, and you can already do them in a reasonable, you know, in a reasonable, comfortable way and environment. Then obviously what you've got then is the next step to a lot of these skills, which then will allow me, and as I say, everything will build, is then going out there and can you actually find the wood to use? Can you get to the dry core? Can you use the tools you're doing it's raining, it's windy, it's horrible. You know, so like I say, everything will build. You don't go to a basic bushcraft course and have them throw you out with nothing but a razor blade, yeah, and a piece of string, you know, for your underpants, and expect you to know and do everything. The whole point is everything will build, things will feed into themselves. The skills that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to gradually increase, you know, the difficulty of things. So that's the whole point of it. So it will, you know, it's going to give me a record over the next, I have no idea how long, months and months and months probably. This is not a quick fix. If you've planned on going on a course somewhere, or you've just come back from a course somewhere, join in, you know, and then you'll be ready for the next, you know, 3-4 months down the line. You know, your skills will be honed in a very easy way. You don't have to give up a whole day or a whole evening or anything like that. Once you've got your stuff for that week, you can leave it ready, you come home, maybe 15 to 30 minutes or something like that, practice a particular skill, and then, you know, like I say, each thing will build, and every now and then we'll go back to the things, you know, you learn, because if you don't keep doing them, you lose them. So that's what this video is about anyway. So next week, as I've already said, a week of feather sticks, 7 days, 6 feather sticks a day. Now it's not just 6 goes at a feather stick. It might take you 6 sticks, it might take you 12. The idea is you make 6 usable feather sticks. They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to look like a top instructor in the world has done them, you know, but they do have to look like feather sticks. Yeah? Because as we move on, you're going to save these, and anything you make in the next week, I want you to save them, because that will then go on to a point whereby A, you can see the improvement you made from day 1, you know, from your first 6 feather sticks, or the 6, maybe 10 where 3 or 4 have failed and you've just managed to make something usable out of that, to the end of the week hopefully where you're doing 6 feather sticks out of 6 sticks. and they're fine enough, and you can see the difference, and you see your own improvements, and then that's going to move on, because there's going to be doing firelighting and things like that as we move on in different ways and different techniques, and again it'll get more and more difficult. So like I say, it's a building block. It's not jumping straight into saying, right, make a feather stick like fires, because, you know, if you can already do that every time, and your feather sticks are awesome with really fine, less than paper thick curls that light almost instantly off a ferrocerium rod, great, you know, you're probably beyond this, you know, unless you want to keep dipping in, see if there's other ideas and things for you later, but generally we'll build up. So what do you need? Put the book down. Okay, so basically, just to make things a bit interesting, I do have a bit of a concrete area. The things you'll probably need for next week is either a chopping block if you have one, because I can sit on my chair, my knees don't like it. If you haven't, just an old piece of ply, just a thick sheet of ply, that can go on the floor. This one is actually long enough so that when put down I could actually kneel on one end and work on the other. If not, something to kneel on so you can work against the board, that'll protect your knife and your edge. Some kind of knife reasonably suitable for bushcraft or whatever you've got. The one I'm going to be using is one that I've actually made, and I just want to trial, so again it gives me something extra to do other than just making the feather stick. I'm going to trial my knife, see what the steel's like and things like that. This particular design I'm not keen on. It was one I made a while ago, just over a year ago, well, about a year, but I'm testing the steel and the hardening temperature, so it's giving me a chance to do something different. And again, through the week, what you want to do is test yourself where you can. A standard Mora or a Barco for $10, absolutely fine, no problem. Proper bushcraft knife, if you've got one, fine. Later on in the week, if things go to plan, maybe an axe, a parang, or a survival knife, or something like that, just to keep testing your skills. If you have a bit of garden out there, fine, use a piece of garden. What you will also need, obviously, is some wood. And what I'll do is I'll show you some of that next week. Now, to begin with, you could just get yourself any old piece of, I'll grab one here. To start with, you could just get yourself any old piece of wood that you've got lying around, hopefully at home, something like that. Cut it into maybe, 18-inch pieces, something like this, and a hand span, couple of hand spans. Yeah. Split this down. Out of this, I'll probably get 4 out of each piece. You don't want them too big. At the end of the day, don't forget, once you've lit the curls, you want the curls to light the wood. So you don't want big chunks of wood. You know, if you've got a big chunk of wood, you start making feather curls off of this. You'd have to make sure you made enough curls on one piece of wood that you would generate enough heat to light the rest of it. So split it down. So again, you might have something lying around. You might know somebody who has find a piece of wood in a skip, whatever. And the reason for that is, like I say, as the week goes on, I'm going to progress, because what I've also got from here is some wood that I've actually processed for my fire. This is, and I have no idea, some of the native timbers over here, I have no idea how they perform. Again, I'm learning something. So this is a chunk of lancewood. Whether this will work or not, I'll soon find out. A lot of grain in it. Some Norfolk pine. It's quite a heavy, dense. It's not just a a fast-grown market pine. It's a pine. I've also got some Manuka Pahutakawa. So I'm trying some different woods. And again, so that means each day it's a bit of a different challenge. So it doesn't just have to be. It's not just one thing over. Use the different things, learn different things. If I manage to get out for a walk during that week, then what I'll do is I'll take my saw and I'll take my knife, and at some point I'll sit down and I'll just film myself, and I'll just look for a piece of dead wood, process it, make feather sticks, and obviously bring them back. So, mix and match it up a little bit, but I'll film what I'll do next week, so you'll get to see those and give you some ideas of what you can do. So if you think, I'm going out for a walk all day, what I've chance to do it, well, you would just, when you stop for your cup of tea, pick a stick up on your way through. Doesn't have to be, don't forget, don't get het up, and it doesn't have to be perfectly dry, perfectly dead standing wood. It could actually be a piece of wood on the ground, because what you're actually going to do is you're going to process that wood first. Obviously dead, rotten, manky's no good, but if it's a sound piece of wood, because by the time you've actually cut it, split it, feather sticked it, and then you've brought it home for the next week or the week after, or when we get round to using them, it'll be dry. So again, don't get too het up on the specifics. Try and think about, what you can learn. And like I say, if the skill comes back quite quickly to me, I'll move on from just using a knife, and I might move on to using the axe or the parang or whatever. If not, I'll keep doing those things as I go ahead. Like I say, once I've learned that skill, it won't just stop and then move on to the knots. I'll keep doing things, and I'll show you that in the videos of how I keep doing it. You know, keep adding to skills. So that's pretty much this. This is where I'm at. The next video in this range of I haven't really decided a name, but it's like bushcrafting skills development, something like that. You know, 7 of 6. And hopefully this week goes well and everything goes to plan, and the next upload will be, like I say, next Sunday night. So with that, I will sign off. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. Hope you join in. Don't just watch. Don't be an armchair warrior. Join in. As you've seen, you need some old scraps of wood and a mortar. Don't let anybody tell you there's anything wrong with these. I have no idea. I got my first mortar early mid-90s, I think, mid-90s. I've never managed to break one, and I've tried once or twice. You know, I certainly haven't gone out to destroy them, but you know, I've used them. So you know, you don't have to have anything fancy for anything that I'm going to be doing. You know, I'll show you lots of ways of, you know, just making do and sorting out, and loads of guys who live out there and live this life use something like this. Yeah. So don't let the thought of kit or gear or, oh, what's going to happen in the future put you off. There won't be anything that's beyond anybody's reach. So with that, I will sign off. Like I say, thank you for watching. Catch you in a week. You know, subscribe, that way you'll be able to keep up with what's going on, and I really, really hope you join in. Awesome, guys. See you soon.